Ross Gerber is getting some pushback. He says, it seems that Cybertruck sales are really just taking away from Model S and X sales. It doesn't seem to be creating new Tesla owners, seeing a lot of Cybertrucks in Santa Monica and the Malibu area. Just think about this. Who are the people that they're the first to place an order for the Cybertruck? I mean, the people that place the order within like the first few minutes. Who are they? Are they the people that have never owned a Tesla vehicle and have no idea what kind of quality and what kind of experience Tesla can deliver? Or are these people the people that owned maybe even multiple Teslas and are so happy about every single one of them that the moment a new vehicle is announced, if it seems good, they don't even need to see it, they don't need to sit in it, they don't even need to try it, they are going to just buy it. You still cannot just go into a Tesla showroom and just get a Cybertruck the next day. You can't even get it the next month. You need to be on the wait list. And if you already have a Tesla, the chances are, if you are buying a Cybertruck, you're not going to be buying another Tesla on top of this new vehicle. So on the very surface, this is sort of not completely wrong, but when you take the context into consideration, you know why this is completely irrelevant. I personally have never bought a vehicle without driving it first. I have never driven the Cybertruck yet, and I suspect many people feel the same. They don't want to buy something if they haven't been able to drive it. You know, sometimes when I see takes that make no sense, I think to myself, should I start a fund and manage other people's money? I think I would probably do a better job than the absolute majority of active fund managers. What I would do is you couldn't have a fund with just one stock, so obviously you need to have many. I would just basically take S&P 500. I wouldn't call it S&P 500. I would just put most companies from there into the fund. Maybe instead of 500, I would pick 550 biggest companies in the US. None of these active managers beat S&P 500. 60% of all active large cap US equity funds lagged the S&P 500 in 2023. And when you extend that time frame from 1 year to 10 and beyond, you will actually be closer to 99% of these fund managers failing to beat S&P 500, and on top of their incredibly jaw-dropping performance, they are going to charge you big fees. Well, in the meantime, you can buy an S&P 500 ETF pretty much for nothing. Eventually, a long time from now, when it is time for me to diversify my stock portfolio just from Tesla stock into other stocks, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy S&P 500. I might add a few other things, but S&P 500 would be my main thing. This is what Warren Buffett also says, by the way, 90% S&P 500 and then 10% short-term bonds, I think. There's a bit more news coming out from China about Tesla's FSD. Basically, things are looking more positive. Here's someone trying FSD for 3 days, and 99.9% of his driving is handled by FSD. His conclusion is, it does not make random mistakes as often as he thought it would. Most problems he observed are pretty predictable and fixable. My main issue right now is lane selection. For example, if I have 6 lanes and I need to be in a very specific lane, occasionally, and by occasionally I mean maybe 20 to 30 or 40% of the time, it does not get the lane selection perfectly right. If it's a relatively simple road, let's say just 2 lanes, or even 3 lanes, usually it gets the simple ones right, but the moment it's a bit more complicated, it starts to, even if it eventually gets it right, it does this thing. It doesn't select it immediately from the get-go. It sort of is deciding between 2 lanes and it's doing this fishy thing. But I think that can easily be fixed with more data. Ray has been driving on the latest FSD version, and from his experience, FSD seems to have attained rapid acceleration at red light stops and harsh braking. It does feel smoother for him. My experience has been somewhat similar as well. I noticed only small improvements, but overall it's better for me. I think it's also important on which mode you drive. I usually drive on chill mode. I don't want it to be aggressive, so I want to have more time to intervene, and I don't want to be so close to another vehicle that I'm thinking, oh, are you about to make a mistake in the next millisecond? I just feel more comfortable knowing that I'll have more time to intervene if it does something stupid. Omar had a discussion with Gordon Johnson. My condolences go to Omar for having to endure talking to Gordon Johnson. This was about Tesla's FSD in China and news after Elon's visit. You know, when the stock jumped more than 10% in one single day. Gordon claimed that in fact, there was no news or announcement at all, and that everything had been announced was already known before. So yeah, obviously, the stock just jumped more than 10% in one single day for absolutely no reason, right? When I tried to inform him about what had actually happened, he called me a liar. Well, calling Omar a liar for saying that was a lie. There's still definitely a lot of work for Tesla to do with FSD in China, but it's clear that things are moving forward and in the positive direction. Well, things are moving forward here in the US to hike tariffs on China EVs and offer solar exclusions. Chinese EVs to face 1 or 2% tariffs. You will not see a single Chinese EV on the US roads after this tariff, unless they are actually going to build them inside the US. In the meantime, BYD is trying to enter the insurance industry. They acquired an insurance company a year ago, which was officially renamed to BYD Insurance. So they are actually serious about this. I'm keeping this specifically just about EVs. There's a claim that you cannot go from New Jersey to the White House on one charge. Bradford is offering anyone $500 who is going to film him going from New Jersey to the White House. It's only 220 miles. If you start with 100%, you are going to make it. Oh, and Bradford got a couple of takers, so he's actually going to do it. I'm looking forward to it. Now, to be fair, if you buy a 2024 Nissan Leaf, which only has 149 miles of range, you are definitely not going to make it. Why are we even making these cars with such a low range? I guess if you only drive in the city, it's fine, but going anywhere outside the city and you're going nowhere. Well, I mean, you will still get to your destination, just it'll take you longer because you'll need to stop to charge more often. Coming back to Gordon Johnson for just 1 second. Omar points out that in 2020, Gordon Johnson said, "I couldn't be more bearish." And then right after he said it, the stock jumped. And then it jumped again. And then it jumped again. Whoa, some of these humanoid robots are getting crazy. Wow, okay. Well, if you are a human being and you can do that, that would be crazy impressive. Before you watch further, no one got hurt. Just remember that. It's all fine. He is actually going to hit the robot in just about 2 moments. Here you go. It's actually tiny. I thought it's like a size of a human being, but it's actually pretty tiny. It holds its balance pretty well. There's also an interesting disclaimer. The humanoid robot has a complex structure and extremely powerful power. Users are asked to keep a sufficient safe distance between the humanoid robot. The design, of course, looks a little familiar, but to some degree, all humanoid robots will look somewhat similar because they are humanoid. Rivian stock today is up 10%. Oh, it appears that it's because of that new tariff on Chinese EVs. Check this out. Sawyer has been getting a decent amount of DMs from followers buying Model Ys after Tesla introduced the special loan rate of 0.99%. Here's another one, and here's one more. We'll see when we get Q2 deliveries how this actually affected Tesla's deliveries. And GM has announced that starting this week, their Cruise division will begin supervised autonomous driving in Phoenix. For the past several weeks, Cruise has been mapping and collecting road information in Phoenix. Well, this is good news for Elon Musk. SpaceX is increasing prices for some US Starlink users due to increased demand. Prices will now be $120 a month from $90. Users in areas with excess capacity will see a cost decrease in their monthly subscription. If Starlink and SpaceX do well, then Elon Musk does not need to spend as much time over there. So overall, this is good for Tesla because Elon can spend more time at Tesla. That's it for today's video. Make sure to click the like button so that we can make sure that there's no shadow ban on this channel. There's another video from my other channel showing that it's only getting about half of the views it would normally get because my videos are only shown to about 50% of the regular viewers in the first few days. And then after the first 3 days, it does push it out a little bit more, but because it's no longer news, it's old, no one's interested. So I appreciate everyone clicking the like button. That really helps. And going forward, I'm only publishing the full daily news videos on this channel, not on the old channel anymore. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Otherwise, YouTube may stop showing you these videos completely. Subscribing sends YouTube a strong signal that this is a channel you want to watch.